fellow boxing fans, and welcome back to another prediction video. And before I cover this particular fight, I must admit that I made a mistake in the last prediction video when I covered Anthony Joshua versus Samuel Peter. I gave Costa credit for that request when that request actually came from Terrell C. So I do apologize for that mix-up. And so I'm gonna cover the fight that Costa actually requested, and that is Lennox Lewis versus Riddick Bowe. Now everyone knows that this fight should have taken place back then. It was the fight to be made. There's rumors that Riddick Bowe was scared of Lennox Lewis. I'm not particularly sure that's the case. Bottom line, that fight should have taken place. But unfortunately, the fights that should get made don't always get made. And that's the nature of boxing, unfortunately. And so some of these fights we can only speculate on, and that's where many of these fantasy fights comes from. So Lennox Lewis versus Riddick Bowe. Let's talk about Lennox Lewis. Lennox is often criticized for getting knockout losses to Oliver McCall and Hasim Rahman. But I continually say that these things happen in boxing, especially at heavyweight. And in the heavyweight division, all it takes is one punch, is one shot. However, Lennox Lewis avenged both of those losses and has defeated every man he's faced inside of that square circle. As far as Riddick Bowe is concerned, he's had some inconsistencies in his career, unfortunately. But when Bowe was on it, he was on it. And I always say that the version of Riddick Bowe that fought Evander Holyfield for the first time is basically invincible. Riddick Bowe at his best was dangerous. Lennox Lewis and Riddick Bowe fought in what I consider the best heavyweight era in the history of boxing, which was the 90s. Now it's debatable. Some people may feel that the 80s, the 70s, 60s, 50s, so on and so forth were the best eras. But I just feel like 90s heavyweight era was extremely loaded. And both of these guys have so much in common as far as the jabs, right crosses, power. And Lennox Lewis and Riddick Bowe could throw every single punch. Both guys were extremely versatile. But this fight may come down to the jabs, which may favor Lewis. Now, in my opinion, Lennox Lewis had the best jab in the history of boxing. Now, if we want to debate jabs, that's for another video. But in this particular fight, Lennox Lewis may have the edge as far as the jab. And another thing we have to consider is the chins. I feel that Riddick Bowe had the better chin than Lennox Lewis, which brings me to my final points in this fight and what I truly consider the deciding factors between these two. And that is the confidence, the discipline, and the preparation. And I feel like those things goes to Lennox Lewis. And as great as Bowe was, he didn't always prepare the way that he should have. And Lennox Lewis's 2 knockout losses, I feel, were a result as him not taking his opponents as seriously as he should. And it happens. But I feel that those things that I mentioned, the confidence, the preparation, and the discipline, plus Lennox Lewis's jab, is enough to secure the win for Lennox Lewis. So I'm gonna go with Lennox Lewis by decision. Those are my thoughts. Please let me know what you think.